Well, good evening, gang, and welcome to It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams. I'm your host, and to my right and to your left, of course, is Julia Perciasepe, and we are coming to you live from our beautiful Studio B here at B&N TV, and you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. We're at 617-708-3290, and Dave and the great staff of B&N are in the other room answering the phone, so please give us a call. Let us know what's going on. How are you?
I'm good.
How's your week been?
Well, it's Monday.
It is, yes, I know. How was last week?
It was good.
Good.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I had a relaxing weekend. Not very productive, but relaxing.
That's okay. You know, it's okay to have one of those weekends.
Yeah, it is.
My weekend was packed, jam-packed from beginning to end.
Yeah.
My son graduated from the Fireman's Academy on Friday.
Congratulations.
It was very, very emotional and very, very, it was an amazing day. We're so proud of him. All my bride Janice had to see were the bagpipes, and that was the end for her. She was all a mess after that.
Those always get you.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
I mean, they did the whole filing in, and all the big dignitaries were there and stuff, and we're very, very proud of them. But now, of course, the ambulances start.
Yeah.
And but he's been working on this for a long time, and we're very proud of him. His kids were so happy, and his bride, Ari. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Then of course his birthday was the next day. His wife's birthday was the day after that, and on Friday was their anniversary.
Oh my goodness!
So it was one of those weekends.
That's
you know,
too much.
It was just too much going on at once.
Did you have just one celebration?
We did.
And just throw it all in there?
Everybody came to Studio 99, and we all just kind of vegged out and ate and had good fun. Nice. I did go to Haley House last week for Jared Leake's opening for his show, and I met him, and it was great. I mean, I hadn't been there for an event before. I'd stopped in because I work over at Orchard Garden, so every now and then when I leave from Rosendale, I'd stop there to grab a sandwich or a coffee or something, but it was great. The place was packed. It was great to meet him, and he's going to come on the show in the future. He's a fabulous photographer. So it was really good to meet him and do that.
What kind of food did they have?
They had everything out, all these little appetizer
That's
things.
what I really care about.
There were a lot of appetizer things. Now, I'm not a big, put anything in type guy, but I had him nibble on a couple of things that were pretty tasty and a good cup of coffee. So it was nice. Then after that, I came here to B&N. B&N is celebrating 30 years. As a television station, and we are so proud of the things that are happening here. Every couple of weeks, they're having screenings of programming of producers that have been with the organization for years, and someone who's been there from just about the beginning, Tim Wright, had done a documentary on the elevated line that ran down Washington Street. I don't know if you've been in the city long. How long? Do you remember the Orange Line?
Nope. The Orange Line, but not the elevated Orange Line.
You cats remember the Orange Line, right? It's something. It was the train that got you from Forest Hills to downtown, and I traveled it twice a day because I went to high school in Cambridge. So it was something that I always traveled on. But they talked about, the documentary was about the impact on the community and what happens to that steel and stuff, and I was very pleased to find out. I mean, we knew at the time it was all being shipped off to Japan, or it was so why couldn't it have been something we could have used around here? And what ended up happening was they refined it over there, sold it back to us, and in Arkansas, someplace, they made a big expansion bridge.
Yeah.
So it's being used to get people from one side to the other.
It's like ultimate recycling.
And that's what was talked about.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that really struck a nerve with me, and I think that one of your directors or someone from your company, your organization was there too, can state probably the same thing, is the impact on the community was the biggest thing. I mean, Tim actually, talked to a lot of people who kind of lived with it and grew up with the Orange Line and its majesty. I mean, to think back on it, Dudley Station, for instance, is this beautiful, architectural wonder. And yeah, it screeched and made noise coming through and stuff, but it was a huge deal to the people who lived with it, you know. And I think that maybe we'll talk a little bit about it with Eric and DuBois when they come up, because they know about it too, you know. So it was part of their community. So that was one of the things that I did. That's a busy week.
Yeah, that's a busy Thursday.
It's a busy Thursday.
Not just a week, a busy Thursday.
Yeah, and of course we're still. People may notice that I've got a small growth going on here. No, I didn't lose a bet or anything silly like that. Just the new look.
Nice.
So what's going on with you?
Not much. Did you watch the Oscars last night?
You know, I started to watch it, and I felt like I really had no place because I hadn't seen any of the movies. I mean, I like it.
That's fair.
I like it because of some of the ha-has and the funnies and what have you, but I'm not a big go-to-the-theater guy, especially where I'm probably going to be able to see these movies in probably 3 months anyways, in the comfort of my man cave, so it's not, you know, that, so I really wasn't, I didn't know about them.
I was really excited about the documentary category. There was the film that won, 20 Feet from Stardom. Typically, they kind of go for the more edgy, controversial films in that category, but this year they picked the right one, I think. Yeah, it's an amazing film.
Now, because of the company, because of the organization that you're with, are you guys in tune with all of that kind of Oscar and everything?
I mean, mostly the documentary part.
Yeah.
I had seen the majority of the films that were in that category. And then just as a movie lover, I've seen a lot of the other films. But I don't go to the movies as often as I just watch stuff at home, just because it's so expensive. But occasionally, like Gravity, for instance, I went and saw in the theater because it's, you know, visually
You know what the last
stunning.
movie I went to see at the theater? Oh, no, there's one more recent.
I think you told me this. Was it like Despicable Me?
Despicable Me 2, yes. But that was only because I had 15 kids from the Boys and Girls Club with me. I would have never been in there if it hadn't been for that. But
that was nominated.
Yeah, I was disappointed that it didn't go. It won my one film.
I was disappointed that Pharrell Williams' song "Happy" didn't win. And he performed too. I don't know if you've heard it.
He took all the Grammys. No, he took all the Grammys.
It's an amazing song. I love it so much.
He took all the Grammys.
Yeah.
But well, that's really interesting. I'm glad that the one that you liked was going to happen, and that's kind of important.
If you haven't seen it, see it. It's really
What's
good.
it about again?
It's about backup singers, and it kind of starts, you know, with Motown and
with Mary Wilson and stuff, and all those cats backing up, you know, Diana.
And goes right up until, you know, contemporary times, and focuses on a group of ladies, but it's just, I mean, the music is amazing, and you hear the stories behind some of the, you know, these famous songs with these women singing. You hear the stories behind them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, anytime you get a chance to hear about any behind-the-scenes studio work, there's a lot that goes on that people, you know.
Yeah.
One of the famous stories is any of these big cats, the Beatles, anybody, if it comes time to do a song, redo a song, they have to relearn it because it was something that just grew in the studio.
Right.
You know, today people are so fortunate to be able to have their little garage band or digital performer or Pro Tools in their house on their computer, and they can kind of set up a room and record. And with the digital world the way it is today, the quality is just as good.
Yeah.
I mean, you need the mastering tools, and it's nice to have, you know, the right kinds of filters and what have you that you need to get the sound right. But everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to go in there knowing it's costing you $65, $70 an hour, and you better have rehearsed this to death before you get it there. So we're back to that creative time, which I'm enjoying.
Good.
Do you have any films coming up that we need to be that are going to be screened, or do you guys have a season that might be?
Yeah, we have a screening coming up on the 20th, so it's a couple weeks away, but it's going to be at Emerson again.
Okay.
And the film is called Postcards from Tora Bora. And it's about a woman who goes back to Afghanistan to kind of rediscover where she's from. So I'll have more information on that as we get closer to the date, where we'll probably start gearing up for that pretty soon. But other than that, there's just spring is kind of film festival time in Boston. There's a ton of stuff coming up. So I'll be reporting some of that on Julia's World.
Yep.
But yeah.
We're going to have to go to a couple of those festivals.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Maybe, you know, do they have red carpets?
I don't think so in Boston.
We got to start something.
There might be one that has it, but
Okay.
yeah.
So we have our press passes. We can get ourselves up front.
Excuse me.
Coming through, press. With all of the things that are going on in Russia and the whole thing like that, do you find that that's maybe some documentary films that might have already dated themselves or resurfacing because of some of the things that have happened?
Sure.
Or is there like a high influx of stuff now because there is something so powerful happening in the world today?
I definitely think that current events affect kind of what people are interested in about learning, obviously.
Yeah, but not necessarily the learning part. I mean, are there filmmakers hiding in the bushes over there?
Oh, I'm sure there are. Yeah, you know, for instance, you know, everything that happened in the Middle East, in Egypt, in Libya. I mean, there was just an incredible amount of media that was produced through that. One of the films, The Square, was nominated last night, and I really enjoyed that film. But that was, you know, all on the ground filmmaking in the square. You know, so it's a lot of it's journalistic, but some people kind of turn it into either personal stories or, you know,
and sometimes at great personal peril too.
Yeah,
I mean, to be documenting the real true story sometimes isn't the safest gig.
No. Yeah, I saw an ad for HBO has this Vice series where it's you know, they send these journalists into the craziest, most dangerous places to cover the, you know, whatever, but they're putting their lives in clear danger. You know, I guess they know what they're getting themselves into, but it's scary.
The real world.
Yeah.
Not these guys that live in the swamps, but the real world. I can't watch that kind of TV. I don't know. It's just
the guys that live in the swamps.
There's this one reality show where the cats have the long beards and they're kind of, you know,
I see
they're
what you're
supposed
saying.
to be a certain kind of dude and stuff like that.
The reality TV. That's kind of very produced.
Top models.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
You know, I do want to take. What's the date on that? You're going to let me know more about it. We'll get
it's the 20th.
Yeah,
I'll let you know as soon as we have.
Is
more
Emerson one of your big partners? Or does it just work out that way?
It just worked out that way this year.
Yeah.
It changes every year who we kind of partner with, and we partner with people all over the world, but we're trying to do more locally.
Yeah.
But they have an amazing film program, and we've had some interns from there, and
Great.
So we have developed a relationship.
Great.
So
we got to get some clips we can show at some point. That'd be nice to, you know, if we can get a little trailer up.
Yeah, so when I do Julia's World before the March 20th screening, I'll show a trailer.
Great. I do want to remind everybody that we are coming to you live from BNN TV here, and you're more than welcome to join us. We're at 617-708-3290. And we are very, very proud of our affiliation and partnership with the Boston Main Streets program. Boston Main Streets is an organization of volunteers that help revitalize business districts around the city of Boston. They've been at it about 30 years now, too, as long as BNN has been around. And what they do is they work with the property owners to help get the demographic information that they need so they can put the proper business in the storefront down on the street. And once that business is in there, they help them. There's another committee that comes in and helps them design things, helps them with storefront improvements, help them with signage, make sure that everything is set up correctly. And then after everybody's got a thriving business in their storefronts and the business district is looking for people, they run events to bring people down into the area so that they can find out just what's in their local business district. Mine is out in Rosendale, of course, and we have the Great Farmers Market and Taste of Rosendale and all kinds of things like that, different concert series. And we run those just to bring people down so they can check out what's going on. So if you see an event going on and you see somebody with a Main Street t-shirt, please thank them because they're volunteers. And they're only doing it because they love their community. The other thing I like to talk about while we have your attention for a couple of seconds is this amazing building that we're in, BNN TV, which consequently is 30 years old as well. And what they do is it's the cable access organization here in the city of Boston. And what they do is they give you a voice. Let's say you have a nonprofit organization that you'd like to get your mission statement out, get out things so people will find out about what you're doing, maybe get some more volunteerism going in your direction. You can come here and you can bring your own guests in and talk about what your nonprofit does. Here's the place to come and do that. Also, there's another side of BNN, access side, where you come and take all kinds of great classes in Photoshop. You get to take Final Cut Pro, you'll get to take Pro Tools, you'll get to do lighting, sound, you get to find out how to do shoots outside of the studio and in, and then you produce your own television program, and lo and behold, they put it on the air right here for you on the other station, Channel 23. So if you're interested in doing that, and that is something that is available to you, if you go to www.bnntv.org, click on Janice Williams' name. She's in charge of membership and getting people pointed in the right direction. She can help you with anything that you may need. The other cool thing that's happening at that website is right now this show is streaming live at www.bnntv.org. If you have someone in the other side of town, you say, hey, you got to see Glenn's new beard, tell them to log into that website and click on what's playing now, and this program will appear for you. Also, we also have a Twitter account that we're very, very proud of. If you go to Twitter, you can send us your tweet.
Yep.
I'll get that written down so I don't say it wrong. I've been beating that up quite a bit lately. But if you'd like to tweet us a message and maybe you're too shy to give us a call on the phone, you can tweet us at It's All About Arts. And also tomorrow, about this time, this show will be up on our station on YouTube. So you'll get an opportunity to check out this show anytime you want. It's on demand there, and the address there is It's All About Arts 1. So if you go to any one of those, that's how you find out what's going on here on the show and what we're up to.
Yep.
Did I get everything in?
I think you did.
I think I did cover
everything.
We have a great show tonight.
Yeah.
We've got two great community guys that are going to join us in just a couple of minutes and talk a little bit about entrepreneurship, about taking care of business.
Yeah, that sounds good.
They've written a fantastic new book, and we're going to talk to them a little bit about that. It's a great organization. They go around helping people help themselves. I think that's a really cool thing. And but we're going to do Julia's World first,
yep.
right? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. Okay, gang? Why don't you sit back and relax? We are at BNN TV. We're coming to you live from the beautiful Studio B here. And you can give us a call if you like, 617-708-3290. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with Julia's World. Please do not go away. Thanks. Well, welcome back, gang. Thanks an awful lot for hanging in there with us. And I do want to remind you that you are watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. We're coming to you live right now in Studio B. And if you want to watch this show at your leisure, let's say, all of our shows are being loaded up onto our YouTube page, which is It's All About Arts #1. And if you go there, you can see all of our past shows. There's some really old shows on there. A couple of them back from in the mid-90s, which are kind of funny. You should check some of those out. And if you want to send us a tweet, we're at It's All About Arts. If you want to send in a question, you can do it to us there. Now it is time, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax. Now it's time for Julia's World. My gang, hang in there.
Hey guys, thanks Glenn. Welcome to Julia's World. For those of you who did watch the Oscars last night and were wondering, where can I see all those amazing foreign films and films that I've never heard about? Well, you can see them at the Belmont World Films 13th Annual International Films Series. That's pretty impressive that it's the 13th, and that is at the Studio Cinema in Belmont, and that's running from March 10th through May 5th. You can find it at belmontworldfilm.org, and they have a number of interesting films from all over the world: Singapore, Chad, Afghanistan, Brazil, and the first one is called Playing Dead, and it's kind of a mystery film from France, and that's at, again, the Studio Cinema in Belmont, which is a great little cinema. I'm all about the independent cinemas in the Boston and the greater Boston area, and this one in particular, you can get burritos and eat burritos while you're watching the film, which is pretty awesome. Second, of course, I just want to remind everybody that this Friday is the first Friday of the month, so a lot of things are going to be going on around Boston to celebrate the first Friday of the month, including First Friday Open Studios at the SOA Artists Guild, and there's about over 60 artists participating, and so it's a really great place to go and just kind of see some nice art if you're looking for any art, but it's also just kind of a fun night. And that's this Friday from 5 to 9 p.m. And then last, this weekend on March 8th at 8 p.m. at the Paradise Rock Club, the North Mississippi All-Stars will be playing. It's a band that I enjoy, and I'm probably going to go to this show. But these guys have been around for a while, and they're kind of Southern rock, blues, and they came out with an album in September. So if you haven't heard them in a while, they might be playing some new stuff. They've toured with Robert Plant and Dave Matthews, so they've been around the block. And that's all I have for this week. Back to you, Glenn.
Thank you, Julia. I appreciate that. Yeah, the All-Stars, they're great. They kind of remind me sometimes of the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. There's another, but that's a nice take for this week. And listen, gang, thanks an awful lot for being here. And it's right now my great pleasure and honor to welcome to the set Eric D. Hall. Eric, how are you?
Ben, pleasure to see you. Man.
It's always nice. And DuBois Marshall, how are you? Thanks for coming in, guys. I really appreciate it. Look, I kind of put you on the spot earlier in our segment when I mentioned the Rattler going through the community. Do you guys remember the orange line coming down Washington Street? Yeah, it was part of the city of Boston's face for so many years, you know. And then when it came down, the thing that touched me the most was how it really impacted the community. Absolutely. You know, there was this big promise about how it's going to open up the community and stuff. And I think people missed it more than they realized once it came down. Oh yeah. You know. But I want to thank you, cats, for coming in and joining us. Eric, tell me a little bit about this is the Wealth Principles Handbook. You know, what's the name of the We Resource?
We Resource Holdings LLC is the name of the company.
Yeah.
And the history of our company started 10 years ago. And we started our company by teaching our young people about the importance of wealth and health. I taught the financial piece. My partner taught 2 forms of martial arts. Okay. These kids went home with discipline, new information, terms, understanding about business, how to start bank accounts, and so many different things. And the parents said, hold on, We want to know this stuff. Who's teaching y'all this? Where are you getting it from? And it just so happened that we was teaching it at Urban Dreams, which was a summer camp at the time. And that birthed our company. So those young people really inspired us to launch a company because we were doing it just out of our love for the community. And we said, I think we have something here. And we started doing it with adults. So now, over the course of 10 years, we teach this to youth and adults around the city in different parts of the country. And so soon we hope to be international with our book and different things that we're doing via the web. So
Now, how long has We Resource been together?
we started 10 years ago. Our company's been in existence a little over 7 years. Actually, as a company, because we first did it not knowing what we was embarking on. We said, let's teach these young people, looking at the violence and everything that was going on. Our goal was just to give them an option to some of the things that they found themselves caught up in. And when we did that, we realized, like, hold on, we have something here. And so for the last 7 years plus, we've been doing it as a company, and we're still here. The irony is we now just produced a book.
Yes.
Just published a book, where most people start out with a book or some type of product first. But it was out of the love of our community that we started the company. And so as people say, how do we know? We know it works because we taught it for 10 years, 7+ as a company. So we're excited to have the book because now we have a tool for people when they leave the class, and they can also get it for family members if they like the information.
Well, I think producing the tool out of the experience makes it a more, I think more resourceful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
DuBois, when we talk about the health of our younger citizens, I mean, sure we can educate everybody's mind and we can make sure that everything is that that I teach that they're educated in the correct form or what have you. But you're nothing without peace of mind, peace of body too, right? Now, how was that a philosophy from the beginning? Was it to make sure that health was involved too?
Absolutely. I mean, we use a lot of the real life examples of, let's say, who's the aviator? I'm sorry. The aviator?
Yeah. I know who you mean.
Well, basically, he had a lot of property in Vegas, owned a lot of airplane companies. Howard Hughes?
Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
But
I almost said Leonardo DiCaprio.
right, DiCaprio. Exactly. No, but now he had billions of dollars.
Yeah.
But his health was that he couldn't even go to the bathroom standing up.
Right.
So now, what would you trade? I'm sure he would have traded at least a week of health. He traded a lot of that money. And we find out, especially as we get older, how important our health is.
Right.
So we mix the financial health with the physical discipline. So after you've amassed all this health, this wealth, if you don't have the health to go with it, then
you can't take it with you.
Can you do? Exactly. And so that's why we put in the whole piece about the martial arts. And it was about to, get your body moving, learn some self-defense, but also find some physical discipline that you enjoy and make it a lifestyle. And one of the main things I try to get across to the folks who was during that class is be a practitioner. Be a practitioner. It's either say martial arts or martial artist, but let your art come from your practice.
Yes.
And anything that you're doing, be a practitioner. If you write, practice being and your art will come from that. If you sing, be a writer and sing. Let that art come from your practice. And that was very important just as a lifestyle. So you have your health is your wealth.
Well, it's a discipline too, and it's a way to physically prove to yourself that you have what it takes. I mean, there are plateaus in martial arts that you acquire as you grow, just as there are in life itself. There are these victories and defeats that we run into all the time. But to know how to handle them correctly, I think, is an art in itself.
Absolutely. Gotta believe it.
Eric, what is the age group of people that you find? Is it younger citizens? Are they younger kids all the time?
We have, one of the things we wanted to do was to develop a real skill of being able to deliver to the audience in front of us. And so we've done work effectively with young people. We've done work effectively with young single women. We've also done work effectively with older seniors who just have the Social Security, but showing them how to maximize what's coming in and how to develop new disciplines so that they can maximize the limited income that they have. So for us, what we do is we really go into organizations because lead agencies are typically our clients. They serve a certain cohort of clients, residents, participants. And what we do is we go and we develop the work plan or develop the curriculum based on what they want taught or what the outcomes they're looking for. So we're able to do that with whatever audience that's in front of us. With young people, we incorporated Monopoly. So we do a phenomenal Monopoly tournament in which we have kids
The actual
playing the game
Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Guy with the monocle and stuff?
And we teach the young people negotiation skills. We teach them, how to have dialogue across the table. We teach them how to, have dialogue where two kids can own separate properties but can develop it together. But then we even took it a step further and incorporated adults into that game where we had professionals from different industries playing Monopoly with the young people, building relationships. We even had one time law enforcement playing with the kids where they got to see our young people in a different light and the young people got to see a friendlier, happier side of law enforcement.
Yes.
Because the agency that was providing the tournament invited them in to play with the kids, which was a great community event. And it just is a total environment of joy, but they're learning. They don't even realize they're learning because they're having fun. And so we actually incorporate that to teach actual financial principles, because if you look at the board, all the terms on the board, from real estate to mortgage to rent, those have definitions. So we teach them the definitions, we show them how to manage their money, and through the game, we've created a culture where now adults are like, when's the next tournament? When I see adults at the agency that we've served. So just to know that we've created that kind of interest about a matter that's serious in our community, which is finance.
When you're looking for an organization to partner with, to go in and work, are you looking like in communities where people may need more help? Are you looking in communities where where the kids seem to be out on the street more? Rosendale Square, for instance. I mean, I can tell you right now that community center could use an awful lot of help, on getting some of the kids in West Rock Street, Jamaica Plain, out in those areas of the city too,
Well, we've been so blessed because a lot of the folks we work with, lead agencies, it's been word of mouth.
Okay.
We weren't we wanted to, we started out in Dorchester.
Okay.
We started right next to Franklin Field Projects in a community center that used to be Movon Youth Center, and turned into Urban Dreams. And our other partner, we have another partner named Roosevelt Smith, who was the executive director of Urban Dreams. So we started. You kind of bloom when you plant it kind of thing. So that's where we were, and we use that as a launching pad to other communities. And so we've worked for Department of Labor, we work for Youth Build, we work for a tenants association, we'll work wherever.
Yeah.
Wherever. And so, we would go to Rosendale, absolutely. But it wasn't a...
You're not targeting a community.
We weren't targeting it, but it just sort of organically happened that we were in these folks.
Right?
Yeah, we were in these communities where the service was needed.
That's I just see it as something that's needed. I know you're reaching really far boundaries. With the book is making some great strides and a great website.
Absolutely.
What's the website?
We resource L.L.C. So that's the word we and resource together. L.L.C.com.
Yeah.
That's our website.
Yeah, Janice and I were perusing through there. We said, well, this looks like something that almost anybody and everybody can benefit from. I'm interested. I mean, 2 + 2 is going to be 4.
Absolutely.
For the rest of our time. Is the draw sometimes the martial arts in the board game?
It really depends. The draw early on, because that was we called it loot camp, like boot camp. So we called it loot camp. So we worked the kids out. We took the kids to the Blue Hills Mountains.
Right.
And they were like, what are y'all doing? But they loved it when it was done.
Yeah.
And the draw was, the money's the draw. The Monopoly game is the draw. The martial arts also is a draw.
Yeah.
But as you know, all of us can use a little extra in the financial area.
Oh, of course.
And most people think that it's a numbers game or it's a math problem. If I had more, life would be better. If I had less debt, life would be better. If I had got a better paying job. And one of the things we learned is that's not it at all. It's a discipline problem. Those with resources and those without have the same 24 hours in a day. Now, there are some things you have to get past. But we realized, okay, money was a draw, but in the beginning, we didn't like financial literacy because it seemed so limited. And we realized that most of the people that we serve when we begin our work, the financial piece was down the line. We had to peel back other layers first. There was other layers to pull back. So the money initially is a draw, But we're more than a financial literacy company. And that's how sometimes people would box us in. And that's why this became so important to show people it's much bigger than just financial literacy. Because financial literacy or having money is not just enough if you treat your family and your friends like crap. Or if you don't have any money. So there's a lot that go with it. And so,
because we really see ourselves as a personal and economic development company.
Right.
What we found out is that when we did business coaching, by the third coaching session, it's a life coaching session.
Okay.
So there's a lot more that we have to drill down when we deal with ourselves and our finances.
Did you find that some of the people were saying I can do better with more, or I need a better job, or if I could hit the lottery, my life would be better?
Absolutely.
Were they finding out eventually that they had enough?
absolutely.
A lot of people enough to be successful and be
absolutely.
It's not
happy?
always a new resource that you need. It's how do you maximize the ones that you already have.
Right,
we
right,
had
right.
some a lady in our classes, and they had never figured out enough finances to take a family on a family trip. After the class, they quit smoking. The mother quit smoking, and the daughter quit smoking. They took that money, pooled it, and took the kids to Disney World.
It's a lot of money when you smoke 2 packs of
Look,
cigarettes a
that's
day.
$20 a day,
That's a
5
lot
days a
of money,
week.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, that wasn't a new resource.
Right.
That wasn't a new resource. It was already in the front of their face.
Redirected the
So a
money.
lot of what we do is point people to their own personal power. So when you talked about the draw, we've had people stand in the back of a class like, well, this is financial literacy. This is going to be boring. I know what this is going to be. Once we start drilling down to their own personal relationship with money, then they become invested. And that really becomes the draw. It's looking at, oh, wow, I had the ability all this time. I actually had the answer all this time. But I had to change the way I viewed the world and myself and my own ability to create wealth for my family.
How do we break down that greed? That mine. I need more. How do we break down that?
What it is we first of all, let's look at the word education. First of all, it comes from the Latin root word educo, which means to pull out or to draw from within. Once, like he said, you're invested because we show you already have the power, then people begin to look at it differently. See, that greed comes from a thought of there's not enough in the world. There's a lack. I got to get mine before he get his. Not knowing there's enough for both of us. Once you understand how the world works, how money works, and once you understand that if we start the same business, we can both still make money in the same business. It's not I have to outdo you, or that competitive spirit comes from a thought of there's not enough. So it's more survival. Once people understand the abundance and understand that if I have a business and I do things right, I'm going to attract people to my business. Or once I do something that I love, and we always tell people, find what you love to do, because once you find what you love to do, you'll do it for free. You'll do it for no money. That's probably where your fortune is.
Yeah.
Many people are trying to do things where they think the money is or where they think the golden opportunity is, instead of finding what's close to them. Like you love art. You will never deny the fact that you love art and music.
Yeah.
And so again, once people know that there's no shortage of things that's out there, there's no shortage of money or resources, then there's no need to be selfish or greedy. You can do it for the right reasons. Which was the reason early on we decided to start our company as a for-profit. And the phenomenal thing about that is we didn't get boxed into the nonprofit realm, but we've served so many nonprofits through our efforts.
Yeah.
So as opposed to being limited as a nonprofit, we've been able to help so many nonprofits, help their clients, go from being, government assistance, which is transitional assistance, to now owning companies. We had a woman in our class who spoke no English, and she cooked. So we helped her look at what she loved to do. Come to find out, she's the chef for the family. She cooks at all the family functions. Woman from Dominican Republic. By the end of the class, she launched her business. The company that hired us became her first client. So those real life examples of, and then we was able to show that to the class. She took something she already knew, and she turned it into a business. Now she's making a few $100s every event this organization does.
That's great.
So just things like that is really, really what's important, and really how we help people see, like, okay, I don't have to be selfish. There's enough for me, there's enough for all of us.
And something I wanted to point out, interestingly enough, we found the exact opposite in certain cases, meaning they didn't even value their own skill set and passion enough to attach an income stream to it.
Guilty.
The young lady,
I give so much away.
you give it away, but look at the blessed, and see, that's the thing, it's hard because it's not tangible sometimes.
Yeah.
What does come back to us when we do live that way?
Yeah.
The young lady who translated this book into Spanish. Okay, now, shelter program, trying to find housing, single mother of a young baby son, but translated legal documents from her uncle to Spanish to English. Never looked at it as a value, a skill set, or a means to be employed, to be gainfully employed. We had to force her to take the money.
Oh, really?
She translated our book, did it for free because it's just something she does.
Yeah.
So yes, we see greed. We see a lot of that. But there's also on the other side a lot of denial of what your own personal value is.
Right.
And you can attach an income stream to it and actually be happy in what you do and supporting your family.
That's great.
So
That's on. Eric, on a personal, is music part of your family at all by any chance? Or?
Well, it is. I mean, I was an MC back in the day.
No, I know that. I can only draw from your lovely daughter because she's an amazing dancer and singer.
Definitely.
She's a member of the Boys and Girls Club over in Orchard
Right.
Gardens, and one of the joyful things that we do there that we're really blessed with is we do a talent show all the time. And those kids, boy, I tell you.
Yeah, they do it, man.
They have so much fun doing that. I hope she's enjoying herself.
No, she is. She was excited about the show. Like, you're gonna be on Glenn's show. Can I watch? You're gonna be on Glenn's show.
Well, you know,
it's
a little
exciting.
bit at a time, we're going to be bringing the kids over.
Absolutely.
Over to see live TV, to be involved here at this station, because I think when we get them at a certain age, to number one, see value and growth in themselves, that they can do something. That's just kind of like lighting the wick a little bit, you know, getting that fire started.
And I think it's good that they know that there's opportunities behind the camera too.
Oh yeah.
A lot of our young people want to be in
We
front
can't
of the
be
camera.
we can't be pretty face here all the time.
Absolutely. There's a lot that goes
Tell
into
her I
it.
said that.
I will. Of course.
But there's a lot that goes into it. People,
Absolutely.
the three of us are sitting here. There's 6 other people that are helping make this
Absolutely, helping
happen.
make this
You know,
happen, right.
so there's lots of opportunities. When somebody signs on to go to a workshop, when that happens, what can they expect? When they get, where does it help? Let's say, let's use the Rosendale Community Center, for instance. Something's going to be happening there. You cats are coming in to do a workshop there. What can somebody expect when they get there?
One of the things I will guarantee is that although money is the carrot, money is the draw, our goal and our attempt, and we've been successful 99.9% of the time, the principles we teach and the way that we give the information and connect it to real life, you will be better in every area of your life. So you'll actually be more attractive at work as it relates to getting a promotion, because we teach there's disciplines and there's integrity, and there's so much that go into really building wealth and going after a better financial life. So we always make sure people are more in tune to everything around them. We try to help you become more aware. If it's young people, they will have a different outlook, and we will connect more of their goals to purpose and vision, and not just, I'm just doing it because it's going to make money. And try to get them to see the bigger aspect of our community. And adults, I think whenever you see an adult get that gleam back in their eye, or they get that hope back that, wow, I can do more, I'm not stuck. Because I hear people say, I'm stuck in this job, I'm stuck in this industry, I'm stuck here. We want to help people get as many aha moments as possible. Oh, I can, so you saying so you telling me that's another route to publishing? I thought I needed, one young lady told me one time, I thought I needed thousands of dollars to start my business. Would you say all you need is a train ride to
That's
City
it.
Hall and $50?
$50.
And your business is registered, the tax ID number is free.
That's free.
With those two, you can open a bank account. Many people don't know, those 3 steps, you're in business. And so we really help people see, we simplify things that people have complicated. So you'll walk away with a better understanding of how to start. Because many people think they start with the end. Now there's a lot of books that say start with the end in mind, but many people think I need this to start. No, you can start right now. You can go and do research today. You can read a book on your subject or on your industry today. So we want to help people start.
But the goal is important.
No, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely,
I think it's important to be able to say that, you know, I want my shop to be
Absolutely,
as busy as that shop.
But some people will use that as they'll use what they think, I'll say the perception of, I need all this money, or I need to have a storefront, or I need the actual restaurant to start my cooking company. When you don't, you can start learning about culinary disciplines now. So what steps can you take moving towards the goal? So we don't make the goal disappear. We kind of connect it and just give them a real starting point to move them towards it.
I'm going to tell you who you should get in contact with is the Boston Main Streets program. And I'll tell you why. It's because there are so many startups and there's so many mom and pop type of businesses that people are starting up with no idea.
Absolutely.
No idea of what direction they're supposed to be going. Absolutely. They just, you know, someone passed away. They came in with a little kind of a nest egg, and now they want to start this restaurant. They want it with no concept at all of what to do.
That's why 9 out of 10 businesses fail.
Yes, because they have no idea which direction they're going.
You have a passion, but you don't know the logistic part of it.
Yeah.
And one thing you'll see is what we do a lot of times, a workshop is in a series form. So let's say you had 6 weeks. We can do 4, 6, or 8 weeks. You got 6 weeks to be in our classroom to change your perspective on what's possible.
Do people come in for an hour, 2 hours at a time?
Well, Preferably, take the whole 6 weeks. If we did a 2-hour class, an hour class, a 2-hour class, take that whole class for 6 weeks. Because what that will allow you to do is break down the walls, look at your own personal responsibility, where you are, not with shame or blame, with love and a sense of humor, and then move forward. And then after that 6 weeks, you start looking, you take that time to look at your own individual goal. I want to start this, I want to do this, do that. A lot of times what we'll do, especially with lead agencies, is after that several week component is we have a coaching component. So you find out what your own individual thing is. So you have 10, let's say you have 10 individuals in a class. One person wants to start a catering business, another person a transportation company. So after that's done, after the 6 weeks, personally we sit down with you. And now let's really look at the nuts and bolts of what does it take to start this, now that you figured this whole piece out within the 6 weeks. And so that's kind of how it will look.
Is that the get realistic part?
Got to be. Has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be. You know, and of course you learn more reality as you go.
I'm sure you do.
Because at each stage of development with any business, it's growing pains, and you have to learn. But you have the power to go through it. We'll guide you, guide you through that particular process.
And what we found too is those who do the coaching after always did better.
Always
or
did
followed
better.
through more,
Exactly.
because the accountability disappears after the class. And a lot of people go to negative environments, whether it's home, community, work, or church. Wherever they go, whether if it's a negative environment or folks in the environment that may not believe in what you're trying to do, or believe in or they've never seen it, or no one in your family's done it, or no one in your community.
Are you
So
the first in your community
That's
or
where
your
your
family
strength
to
comes in.
accomplish something?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you don't have the accountability, it's tough. It's tough.
Eric, thank you.
You got it, man.
Boys, it was a pleasure meeting you.
I know, pleasure meeting you.
Here's the book. What's the website?
The website's www.weresource. That's W-E Resource. RESOURCE LLC.com.
I'm going to put that up on our website, okay?
Absolutely.
So that when
Please do.
people go
Thank
and
you.
click on your name, they'll just get them right to that website.
I appreciate
Hey, guys,
it.
thanks an awful lot for coming
Thank
and
you.
spending a little
Thanks for
time with
having
us. Not enough time, but
Definitely,
but
this is good.
So we'll take it.
Good.
We'll
We'll
take it.
man. We'll
Listen,
take
gang, we're going to take a quick break, get Julia back up here. We'll be back in just a minute. You're watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. We'll be back in just one quick minute. Thank you. Don't go away.
I crash and burn. The rain comes down, the pavement's wet. I'm not alone. When you're with me, it's all okay.
Well, welcome back, gang. Julia and Glenn back on the set. That was very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. They're doing amazing work.
They're doing amazing work, and I think that kind of coaching, and I think that my aha moment there was that when I said that sometimes you think you don't have enough, but if you're not controlling your life or things in the proper direction and stuff, that you actually do have enough, and you didn't know that you did.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting talking about the woman who translated the book for them.
Yeah.
Who she didn't want money. She didn't want to be paid.
Because it was just something she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how she didn't really realize her full potential almost. So
Janice
it's
is
so
on me all the
interesting.
time for doing that. I go and volunteer. I'll take care of it. Glenn's got, but I've, in my old crusty days.
I know, I think it's better to be that way than, to think that you deserve something in return for everything that you do.
And he was right what he said, but it comes back, and it really does come back. I mean,
It does.
And I prefer to, well, whatever. It was cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Any plans for the week? What do you got coming up? You doing anything cool? You going to a rock show?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to that show. And what else do I have?
Now, who is it?
coming
The
up?
Mississippi Mudslingers?
North
Who is it?
Mississippi All-Stars.
North Mississippi All-Stars.
Yeah.
Are you really an old fan of theirs?
Yeah, I mean, they've been around for a while. I've been following them probably since college.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah. Paradise is a great room.
Yeah.
The Rock Club on Commonwealth Ave, you're talking about,
Yep.
over by BU, yeah.
Yep.
That's a great room.
Yeah, so I haven't been to a show in a couple weeks, so gotta get back to it.
Gotta get out. Hey, we have a great show next week. Boston Center for the Arts in Education at the Boston Arts Academy are coming.
That's gonna be great.
We're going to be talking with them, and Brighton Fine Arts photographer Fran Gardino will be here. So
Cool.
we're going to be looking at some great art and talking
Nice.
about it. The Boston Arts Academy is such a phenomenal place.
It's amazing.
Right behind Fenway Park, sharing a building with Fenway High. But I remember when they were first trying to get that started, we had people in all the time trying to get that thing. And when they finally got it off the ground, how fascinating
Yeah.
it was. I think they're making signals at us that they've had enough of us today. Julia, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
How's everything going? Are you
Yeah.
still enjoying yourself?
Of course.
Good, I'm glad, because you're adding some...
Mondays are fun now. I have something to look forward to.
That's the way. That's what we're looking for. Well, listen, gang. Thanks an awful lot for being here. Remember, we're going to be on YouTube tomorrow at YouTube. It's All About Arts 1, and give us a tweet. Listen, if there's anything that you want us to cover, or if you want to find out any more information about, there it is. Was just there.
It was just there.
It was just
I did
there.
one of these.
There it is. Thank you. You can go to at It's All About Arts for Twitter. And you can let us know what you think and join us. Listen, gang, thanks an awful lot for being here with us. Get out and do something artful for yourself. And like I like to say every week, please, and I hope someday soon I'll be able to stop saying it, keep in the forefront of your minds our mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews on foreign soil. Please, get out, do something artful. Do it for them. Julie, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
Okay, dig you later,
See you
gang.
next week.
Bye-bye.